I've been playing March to October on the channel since it came into the game in MLB 19, and I have never not won the World Series in a March to October season. So there's 3+ years worth of March to October riding on this. That was strike 3, and they called him out? No shot. All right, and the grounder to third. That's gonna get us to the bottom of the 9th, and this is it. This is our last chance. No! Oh no! This is actually it here. Oh, guys. Oh no. No, they gave... Oh. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago White Sox March to October, and today it's the start of the playoffs. And the matchup we got is a matchup we've been waiting for since the end of the first season, because the Houston Astros, back in the divisional series of year 1, were the first and only team to eliminate me from winning the World Series in a March to October. Every other season that I've ever played a March to October, we walked home with the trophy, except for the 2022 season of this March to October. So we finally get our chance to avenge that. Houston didn't make the playoffs last season, so we didn't get to beat them directly, but they made the wild card this year. They beat Toronto, and now they are our first round matchup. So I think what we're gonna do today, we're gonna scout them a little bit. We're gonna see what their team looks like, and then we're gonna play game 1. We're probably gonna keep it short. But first, for anybody who missed the last episode because you don't like watching the end of season recaps, and I don't really blame you, I just want to real quick show what our roster looks like, because there is a couple weird things that happened. I predicted that Colson Montgomery would be left on the playoff roster, and he was. What I didn't think would happen is Gavin Sheets was the one that didn't get left on the roster, which that kind of sucks because he was, you know, he's a big piece of our team throughout the year. But I think we should be fine with Sano. And then the other weird one is on the pitching side. It was Dylan Bundy that was our September call-up, but he wasn't the one that got left on the roster. It was someone completely different. Christian Javier got the call. So for the first time this season, he's in the big leagues, and it's for the playoffs. And it was Jesus Luzardo that got sent down for that. So I don't really agree with that move either. So in my opinion, we're going into the postseason slightly weaker than we should be, but I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I think our team is going to hold up just fine. So let's take a look at who the Astros are sending to the playoffs to face us. Remember, they did not make the playoffs last year. I did mention that, but their team, their core actually looks pretty much the same. You still got Altuve leading off. You got Bregman, both of them at a 91. Jordan is up to a 98, and he's looking scary. You got Kyle Tucker up to a 94. And then this is where it starts to fall off. Maybe not quite with Belt, because we looked in on his season earlier this year, and he still finished strong. I mean, why is a 35-year-old Brandon Belt putting up these numbers? But then you got Omar Narvaez, Pedro Leon. I don't even really know who that is. Tyler Whitaker, I don't know who he is either. And then a Jeremy Pena that is not as good as Jeremy Pena became in real life. On the bench, interesting, they have Corey Lee platooning, it looks like. You got Narvaez to face righties. I guess that makes sense. Narvaez is pretty good against righties. I want to look at some of these guys' stats though. Look at the seasons they had. Altuve, pretty standard Altuve season. Yeah, I would say this is like in line with almost exactly what you'd expect out of Altuve. And then Bregman, his numbers went up. They've been going up, it seems like. Probably had his best year in a little while this last season. Still nothing too crazy though. Must have hit lefties really well. Got that up to 99, +9 on the contact versus lefties. How about Jordan though? Yeah, that's what I figured. Actually a dip from how he played last season. Lower average on base, but we always knew he was going to be scary. All right, and then it was Kyle Tucker. He had a good season. Maybe gave up a little bit of contact, I guess would be the word. Base hits, lower average, but he got a lot more power out of it, I'd say. So yeah, all 4 of these top guys are scary. We already kind of looked at Belt. Omar Narvaez, I guess just seeing the chunk of stats here doesn't tell the whole story. It'd be more helpful to know exactly what he does versus righties, because that's probably all he's going to be in for, but he seemed to have a pretty solid year. You got Pedro Leon, 24 homers for him. Wow, not that much power, but 36 doubles, 24 homers. Not a super high batting average and strikes out a lot though. This Tyler Whitaker, their DH, seems to be more of a contact guy. I mean, his numbers are kind of balanced. It's interesting that he's DHing. He's a pretty good fielder. And then Jeremy Pena, I mean, he improved on the year, it seems like. He had a much better regular season than the year before, but still not really the Jeremy Pena that we've come to know. What is their pitching looking like? Because I already know they don't have Verlander. They did get Kershaw. I forgot about that one. McCullers must have pitched in that wild card game, and it looks like he did not pitch well. So we're going to be dealing with Luis Garcia, Urquidy, and Framber. Pretty standard from what you'd expect from the Astros. Garcia did not look like he had a good year. Urquidy did have a pretty solid year. Hardly any strikeouts from him compared to like the innings pitched. You got Framber. He was, I mean, I would assume he was their best pitcher with a 2.78 ERA. Still not a crazy amount of strikeouts, but like no home runs. McCullers, who pitched in game 1, was just kind of decent throughout the year. A lot of strikeouts from him though. And then Kershaw in his year in Houston did pretty solid. I would assume we're not going to see him though unless they bring him in out of the bullpen. Is there anybody scary in that bullpen? I think we had trouble with Forrest Whitley early in the season, but he didn't really have a great year. Their 2 lefties are 68 and 65 overalls. Man, their bullpen is weak looking. That's going to be what we want to attack. Yeah, this guy with a 7.5 ERA. Brian Abreu barely pitched. This Estevez seemed to be decent enough, but not anything really to worry about. And then Emilio Pagan is their closer this year, and he was okay. So it looks like what we're going to want to do, which I guess we don't have too much of a chance to do it ourselves in this first game already being in the 8th, but probably the best chance to beat these guys is to wait out their starters and get to that bullpen before Pagan. So we are lucky enough to load into this first game here with a 1-run lead, but we all know that's not safe, especially with how this season has seemed to go. I feel like we've done a lot of blowing leads late. So here we go. Let's get into game 1, trying to get revenge against the Houston Astros. Shohei is still on the mound, throwing a 2-hitter, and we're being 1-hit. All right, well, here we go. We're probably going to stick with Ohtani, but I want to see what's happened so far in this thing. Their 2 hits have been 2 doubles, but they haven't been able to push across a run. And then we've got 1 hit for us, and it's an Eloy home run. This is an interesting game. This is a playoff game here. Ohtani with... Wait a second, look at that. Ohtani's in the lineup. He's hitting, but he's also pitching. Was there a way I could have done that this whole year that I just didn't know how to do while setting up the lineups? I don't know. I kind of just thought by default they had any game that Ohtani was pitching, it was just somebody else that would DH, because there's no such thing as not having a DH anymore, which is weird because it doesn't list Ohtani as DH. It says pitcher. So I'm assuming if we took him out of the game pitching, he wouldn't stay in the game as a DH like he does in real life. Okay, but that's interesting. And on the mound, he's given up 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 10. He has a lot of energy left still, and he's facing 7, 8, 9. So yeah, I think we can look to get him another inning here. And there we go, a pop-up that Sano should be able to handle. I don't know, man, with how shaky I've felt with Liam Hendricks, we might even want to just try and leave Shohei in to finish this game. Alright, another fly ball to center field as it's telling me GTA's updated. Why? I haven't played that game in months. Guess that's why you turn on Do Not Disturb when you're trying to make a YouTube video, me. And we struck out Jeremy Pena on 3 pitches. Shohei with probably a sub 10 pitch inning. He might just stay in. They're going to a new pitcher. They're going to probably their worst pitcher. Interesting move. We got Tim Anderson up. Insurance would always be very nice with the top of their order coming up in the 9th. Oh, that was a weird 3-2 pitch. Oh, and then he strikes me out down low. Man, their worst reliever is giving me some issues. Vaughn, I bounced that one, got under it on a 2-1 count. Man, dude, absolutely nothing going that inning. 1, 2, 3, didn't even threaten. All right, well, we're gonna have to make do with the 1-run lead. I think I am gonna stick with Shohei. I think that's the plan. If he gets into any sort of trouble, though, we have Hendricks ready. All right, there we go. I like that. Getting him whiffing to get an 0-2 count. We're not even gonna give him a chance to hit this one. Bury it in the dirt. That's fine. Oh, and we got him that time, keeping the slider in the zone. 12 strikeouts for Shohei. I guess I will have to make a choice. I didn't really remember their lineup composition, but after Bregman here, you got back-to-back lefties with Jordan and Tucker. Would it be smart to go to Crochet? I have him up and ready too. Oh, okay. You know, in real life, anytime I'm watching the Astros play and it's like one of their main guys, all I'm sitting there saying is don't throw a fastball up. Because they always hit the fastball up. I avoided it with Altuve and it worked. I think maybe I can sneak one up and away to Bregman and he turns on it. I feel like there was a part of me that knew we weren't going to be able to get out of this clean. 3 lefties in a row now, and we're not looking to close the game anymore, so it's time for Crochet to come in. Man, 2 outs away from a great day for Ohtani, carrying the team on his back pretty much. We really need to keep this where it's at now, though. Really don't want to be playing from behind. Oh, come on, Jordan. Help me out a bit here. I'm going to the slider again. You're going to swing at this. Thank you. I knew it. Oh, we got Tucker on the same pitch. Okay, Crochet comes in, gets back-to-back strikeouts. Now it's on the offense to finish this. Come on, man. 1 hit on the day, and it's an Eloy home run. The rest of you guys need to step up. String a couple hits together. They're leaving this guy in. We should be able to hit him. Maybe? No, he just barely got it. He was already playing in. He was playing for the bunt. Another chopper, dude, come on. Can we please hit this guy? Luis Robert, you're not gonna let this go to a 10th inning, are you? All right, 3-0 count to Robert. I am not swinging with Eloy on deck. I might still just not swing with Eloy on deck. We're gonna be very selective here. Yeah, no, that was just out of where I was looking. All right, and he missed. He missed on 3-2 to bring Eloy up, the only guy who's done something today. I would really love to try and steal second with Luis Robert, but we all already know what would happen if I did. And he walks Eloy also. So I'm assuming now we're going to have to... Yeah, we are going to have to bring in a pinch hitter. I don't remember when that Ohtani rule came into effect and everything, but could they have just not put it in? It would really be nice to be able to have Ohtani hitting right now. But now, since we don't have Sheets, honestly, it might be Montgomery. That might be the move here. So let's do it. Let's get Colson Montgomery in there to pinch hit. His first postseason at bat is coming with 2 on and 2 outs to try and walk it off. And they are sticking with this guy on the mound, which is surprising. Montgomery, that's gonna do it. Yeah, that's with Luis Robert's speed. Easy Colson Montgomery. How about that? His first swing in a postseason game, and he's walking it off. Maybe it is a good thing they left him on the roster. Oh man, that is actually awesome. The future of our franchise, right there, coming through now. Man, I was really sitting here, I had myself convinced we were about to go to like 12, 13 innings. But they left that guy in, who knows why, for just a little bit too long. We win the pitcher's duel in game 1. That was actually a big game to win, not just because, you know, it's winning game 1 of a playoff series, but thinking back to that series against the Astros 2 seasons ago, for one reason or another, we could not hit at home. We lost all 3 of the home games in that series. So it's big to pick up that first win at home. So what is game 2 looking like then? What kind of spot are we going to load into? Are we going to be fortunate, have the lead again? I would kind of like the chance to play a little bit more of the game. I'd like to start in like the 6th or something. But what do we got to win our second game at home? And we will. It's almost exactly what I asked for. Loading in with the lead, in the 6th inning. There's a little bit more offense going on in this game. But like I said, we were just going to play game 1 today, keep it a little bit on the shorter side. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Make sure you hit that like button for me if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the rest of this March to October as we make it to the World Series and beyond into next season. But guys, thank you all for watching today. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.